tutorial. In this tutorial, I'm gonna add on to my pen shooter tutorial, and I'm gonna be adding the player health bar and fixing some problems. So, one of the first problems that I found was if you're shooting the player, if you're shooting, and then you go off screen, like the shapes, the health bar, it keeps drawing. See? So yeah. So the way we're gonna fix that is we're gonna go and we're gonna get an and, actually, not an if. So an and we're gonna say just if item of shapes on screen equals wait a minute. I forget if I used yes or true, so let me just go check that real quick. Because I forgot, because I haven't been in this project for a little bit. So yeah, it's gonna be true and false. So let me just set this to true. So if it's on the screen, but actually, since we're on Turbo Warp, there is one other way to do this. See how it's kind of still like going over right there. See, so but there is a way to fix this if we're on Turbo Warp. Remember to use Turbo Warp. I should it in the tips and tricks. So click advanced and then go and click on remove fencing. And what that just does, it allows them to it allows sprites to go off the screen and still be doing stuff. So yeah, another thing that I want to add is so now it works. So yeah, sorry if the audio is a little off. I have to re-record it because it wasn't working and it didn't have audio. So now I'm gonna fix the part where so now the player health is still going down. So what I'm gonna do is say broadcast and wait. A new message called game over. And then what we're gonna do is go and say, just in all the sprites that have clones in them, we're just gonna say when I receive game over, delete this clone, and just put that in all of them. And then I'm gonna clean up the blocks a bit. So yeah. The next thing I think I want to change is I don't know. Sorry. I'm kind of lost because I have to re-record the audio and I'm not doing this at the same time. So sorry if there's a few parts that don't really make sense. But now it's just 0, so it'll work. So now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna make it so that the player I'm trying to find where I put the player thing where it goes slower, but so it's not in the shapes. Let's see. So it's in the player movement. I just remembered that. So in the player movement script, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna say, let's see. There's a few ways I could do this. We could just say 0 minus speed, so it'll just go backwards. Quick thing, if you guys don't want to do it this way, if you guys, I end up actually leaving it like this, so you can just ignore when I add a few more solutions, because most of them don't work. Just so you know. But yeah, so this part's I just tried to change a few things with it. But I think I just end up leaving it as 0 minus speed. So yeah, I tried dividing it by 2. It didn't really change anything. -2, it didn't really have any effect. Well, it was just like the same thing. So I tried -1. I mean, that's -12. I tried -1.2. Same result. So you guys can just like skip through this part because I didn't really change it. So sorry. But yeah. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna leave it like that. I might cut this out of the video. But so then I tried to make it so that it would be the opposite, and then I just added like a bunch of like weird ifs. Well, I'm gonna add a bunch of ifs to try to fix it. But then I see I'm just gonna undo it actually because it wasn't working. So we're just gonna do it this way. And just leave it like this. And so yeah. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave it like this. And so yeah, like I said, this part I couldn't really get it to do what I wanted it to do, but that's okay because it works pretty well. So yeah, then I added if else, and I put all of the keys in it. You don't need to do this. It didn't change anything. I don't know what I was thinking at the time. I think I thought it would like, oh wait, actually yeah, you do need to do this part. This part was actually a good idea actually, because basically I didn't need to do all the ifs basically. I could have just said what I did in the else, I think. Yeah, I could have just said what I did in the else. So you don't need all of these ifs. You can just say if touching the shapes, do what I put in the else. Sorry. But if you want to do it this way, it does look kind of complex, and if you want to try to show off, you can do it this way. But it's really the same thing as just like you don't need. It's basically saying what it does is regardless of if it's touching it or not, it'll go backwards. But you could have I could have just said 1 times it, because it's either like if there's keys being pressed, it's going to be 1, and if there's not, then it's automatically 1. So it's going to be 1 either way. So I could have just said 1 times, but that's okay. But anyways, now what we're gonna do is we're going to and I don't know what I was doing there, but yeah, okay, so I think I realized I realized that I could have just done that, and so I just put an equals in because I guess I wanted to save it so I can maybe make that work. But if I said if 0 equals 1, so 0 is never going to equal 1, so, but the code's still there, so in case I need it. Okay, so then, wait a minute. Okay, sorry guys, I put in the else to do it that way, but what I meant to do is put in the 1 times, So if you want to fix that problem where if it's just standing still, the shape will go into it, make sure you do not the one with the keys and the else. Sorry. Okay, so then I'm gonna make the player health bar now. So we need a new block called draw player health bar. I don't know how to spell health bar. So yeah, it's health bar. It's two different words, I guess. And then we're gonna click run without screen refresh, of course. Then what we're gonna do is just duplicate all of this. Well, actually, we don't need all of this. Just delete everything. We just need we need to make a player health variable. So a player health bar width. And I'm just gonna say for this part only. So we're gonna set that to be like, oh yeah, and that's the only variable that we need. Then we're gonna set that to be like 100. So yeah, and then what we're gonna do is just duplicate all of this, and what we're gonna do then is, well, first of all, we have to make it actually draw it, but what we're gonna do is take out all of the shapes X stuff, and we're gonna replace this with the player X. So just player X here, player X here, player X here, well, not there, player X here, and then we need to do all of the player Ys. So player Y, player Y, player Y, and one more player Y down there. Then we also have to change it to be the player health. So let's go ahead and say, and the player health bar width, of course. So the player health bar width in all of these. And then we can do the player health and the player max health. So let's get a player health. And we just keep dragging them in. But it does make a pretty cool health bar. So player health. And then player max health. Max player health, sorry. So put that in. Then I'm going to clean up the blocks. And let's go ahead and make it actually draw this. So let's go to the tick method. The tick message. And then I'm going to make it at the end actually. So it'll be in front of everything. So it'll be on the top. Then, as you can see, okay. So I have a few problems to fix. But, so there's two ways we can do this. If you want to do this way, so it's under the player, I'll show you how to do it both ways, because I want you guys to make this like your game. So I'll show you to make it really big and at the bottom, so it's like not part of it, and I'll show you how to make it so that it's under the player. So the first way I'll show you is if you want to fix this under the player way, if you like how that looks, then what we're going to do is get an if, and I'm just gonna say if 1 equals 1, because yeah, so it's only gonna do this for now, because I think I'm gonna do it the way so it's really big and at the bottom, just because I like it better, because it kind of gets in the way of the gun. But if you wanted to do it this way, I'd set it to something more like 50, and I'd change all of these, I'd subtract like 40 or something. So 40 on all of the player Y minus scroll Y, and then minus 40 to all of those. Then I'm gonna make the sizes just a little bigger. This can be 7, this could be 6, I don't know, 6 I guess, and then, or 7. I don't really know what this thing is for, I forget, but I'm just gonna say that, and then this we can set it to be like 16, and I think that's good, but as you can see, it kind of gets in the way of the gun, so that's why I don't really like this one. But if you like that, a lot of games look like that, so you can do it that way. And then one more thing I would add if you're doing it this way is say if, and then player health is less than 100. So if it's already taken some damage, because we don't want it there if it we can do it like the shape, so it only appears when you really need to see it. Then in the else, I'm going to say if 0 equals 1 now, and just basically just duplicate all of the code and drag it down here. Then we're going to make it a little wider, so let's say 100 for now. And change all of the player x minus scroll x and just put 0, because we don't need it to move on the screen. We're just going to have it in the middle. And then for all of the y, we're just going to say negative 120. So it can be at the bottom. So it's kind of out of the way, and it looks pretty good if we make it bigger. But we have to change all of these back to 0, and these to negative 120. Just like this. And so yeah, pen size, we can set it to be like 9 for this. This can be like 30 or 20. Then for this, we can set this to be like 20 or 15 or something, or 16. Yeah. And then this can be like 13. And then we still have to make, we still have to change this to be negative 120. And change the player x to be 0. So yeah, it's a little too big now. So we can, well, first we have to make the health bar wider because it looked a little too small. But then the green part is too big, so we're gonna change that to be like 14 or 10, or something like that. This can be like 25 maybe. And then this can be like 15, 20, 17. And I think that looks good for the health bar. Or maybe 18. And this can be like 13. So yeah, I think that's a pretty good health bar. You can take damage. So like that. And so yeah. One more thing I'm gonna add is basically, see, like this, when the game's over, let's just say erase all. So that's good. Then so yeah. And so yeah, this is looking pretty good. One thing I might add, one thing I think I want to change is the player is taking way too much damage from just the most basic kind of shape, because there's going to be other ones. So we should set this to be like something like 5, because 10 is way too much, because that means he can just die in 5 seconds, because if it's waiting 0.5 seconds, so he would just die in 5 seconds. So that's better. Now we shouldn't die as fast. So yeah, and I think that's pretty much it for this video. So yeah, make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. So yeah, bye.